The science lab was supposed to be buzzing with curiosity, but instead it buzzed with tension. Students held their breath as Jason Reed, the most feared student in Ridgewood High, slammed his hand around Miss Carter's throat. Glass beakers clattered to the floor. A sharp smell of chemicals filled the air. Silence gripped the room, broken only by Jason's low growl. "You don't tell me what to do." The class froze. This was Jason at his worst, violent, arrogant, untouchable. For years, teachers avoided him, students feared him, and administrators bowed to his wealthy father's influence. No one dared stand against Jason. No one, until now. Because the woman he had cornered wasn't just another teacher. She was a soldier. A survivor. A leader forged in fire. And in that moment, Jason's world began to crumble. Emily Carter's past. To the students, Miss Emily Carter was quiet, almost unremarkable. She kept her hair tied back, wore simple clothes, and taught chemistry with patience. But beneath the calm surface lived memories she never spoke of, dusty deserts, blaring gunfire, nights under a starless sky. She had once been Captain Emily Carter, U.S. Army. She led troops in combat, navigated life-and-death ambushes, and carried the weight of fallen comrades. She had medals, scars, and nightmares. But when her service ended, she wanted a quieter life. Teaching, she believed, was her new mission, to guide, protect, and give kids a chance at a future. Yet, some battles followed her home. And Jason Reed was one of them. Jason Reed, the untouchable bully. Jason wasn't just another troublemaker. He was Ridgewood's storm. At 17, tall and broad, he intimidated students with just a glare. He shoved kids into lockers, mocked anyone weaker, and thrived on fear. Why? Because he knew no one could touch him. His father, Martin Reed, was one of the wealthiest men in the city. He funded school programs, donated sports equipment, and kept the principal's office under his thumb. Every time Jason broke rules, a check from his father's account wiped it away. And Jason grew up believing one dangerous lie: there are no consequences for me. The build-up to the lab incident. Emily had seen his type before, not in classrooms, but in war zones. Young men puffed up with anger, convinced violence made them powerful. She tried reaching him. "Jason, I know you're capable of more," she told him once after class. He sneered. "You don't know me, lady." "Oh, but I do," she replied softly. "You wear anger like armor." But anger is only fear in disguise. Jason had laughed, mocking her in front of classmates. To him, she was weak. Just a teacher. Until that day in the lab. The class was experimenting with chemical reactions. Jason, bored and restless, poured too much into a beaker. The liquid frothed dangerously. Emily stepped forward quickly, placing a hand on his wrist. "Jason, that's enough." He yanked his arm away, sending the beaker crashing to the ground. The sharp crack echoed. Then, fueled by humiliation, he lunged, his hand clamping around her throat. The turn. Jason smirked. "What are you gonna do now? Call the principal? Cry?" The students gasped, frozen. But Emily didn't panic. Her breathing slowed, her eyes narrowed, and in that instant, her soldier's instincts returned. With a swift motion, she grabbed his wrist, twisted it outward, and stepped aside. Jason stumbled, his own strength betraying him, and within seconds Emily had him face down on the floor, his arm pinned painfully behind his back. Gasps filled the room. Emily's voice was calm, controlled, almost chilling. "This is not your battlefield, Jason. But if it were, you'd already have lost." The fallout. The students erupted in whispers. Phones recorded. By the time the final bell rang, the video had spread across campus. Jason, the boy who had ruled through fear, was humiliated in front of everyone. By evening, it was viral online. "Teacher takes down bully" blazed across social media. Some cheered. Others worried for Emily's job. The next morning, she was summoned to the principal's office. "Miss Carter," the principal said nervously, "this is a disaster. Jason's father is furious. He's demanding your immediate termination." Emily folded her arms, calm but firm. "So fire me. But I won't apologize for protecting my students." Jason's father strikes back. At home, Jason was livid. His pride shattered, he demanded his father sue the school. Martin Reed, wealthy and influential, stormed into the district office. "That woman assaulted my son. I'll have her ruined." But this time, something shifted. The video told the truth. Parents of bullied kids stepped forward, recounting years of Jason's unchecked violence. Teachers who had stayed silent finally spoke. The community saw through the Reed's power. And then Emily's past surfaced. Local news revealed her military service. Veterans vouched for her. Parents praised her bravery. The narrative flipped. She wasn't a teacher who attacked a student, she was a protector who stopped a bully. Jason's fall. Colleges that had once courted Jason began withdrawing their offers. Recruiters vanished. His future dissolved overnight, not because Emily ruined him, but because his own actions had consequences he never believed he'd face. For the first time, Jason was no longer untouchable. He was accountable. Emily's reflection. That night, Emily sat alone in her apartment, staring at her old military medals. She whispered to herself, "I didn't leave one battlefield just to ignore another. These kids, they're my mission now." Her decision was clear, she would stay, no matter the pressure. Because every classroom had its wars, against ignorance, cruelty, and despair. And she had the tools to fight them. Jason's turning point. Months later, Jason sat in a disciplinary program for troubled youth. Gone were his smirk and swagger. He was just another angry boy among many. One day, a counselor showed him the viral video again. Jason watched himself, hand on Emily's throat, eyes filled with arrogance, and for the first time, shame broke through his pride. "She didn't destroy you," the counselor said gently. "You did. Now the question is, what are you going to build instead?" For the first time in his life, Jason didn't have an answer. But deep inside, a crack appeared in the armor he had worn so long. Resolution. Back at Ridgewood, Emily continued teaching. Students respected her, not just for her military past, but for her unshakable courage. She didn't boast. She didn't lecture. She simply led by example, showing strength with calmness, authority with compassion. One afternoon, a younger student who had often been Jason's victim lingered after class. "Miss Carter," he whispered, "thank you, for standing up to him. No one ever did before." Emily smiled softly, placing a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Remember this, bullies only win if we stay silent. Strength isn't about hurting others. It's about protecting them. The boy nodded, his eyes brighter than before. Closing narration. Jason Reed once believed fear made him powerful. But fear crumbles when it meets true courage. Emily Carter taught her students, and her community, that real strength isn't in fists or intimidation. It's in discipline, resilience, and the courage to stand for what's right, even when it costs you everything. And so, the soldier-turned-teacher fought one of her greatest battles not on foreign soil, but in a classroom, where a single act of courage reshaped lives forever. Never underestimate the quiet ones. Behind every calm face may be a warrior who has already fought battles you cannot imagine. And remember this, bullies may rise on fear, but they always fall when they face true strength.